Instagram. We are on YouTube as well.
Hey, everybody.
Hey.
Thanks for joining us. We have some really giant, exciting news. Next week, a week from today, Tuesday, January 28th from 5 to 10, we're doing a 5-hour gigantic live with the 4 main hosts of Project Next Media and with a ton of amazing guests. It's going to be incredible. Tell us about it. Corinne, go for it.
We are so excited. I'm going to talk to both of my people here because I got my TikTok going on my phone.
Sweet.
But Sarah's going to join me on the TikTok here in a minute after we do our stream here. But we are on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, Project Next. Come find us. We would love for you to join us there. We are really excited to give people an opportunity to support a new independent media company that is going to be focused on local issues and local connections. I think anybody who paid attention to the events of Monday, January 20th, can already kind of feel how much of a circus things are going to be at a national level, regardless of what end of the political spectrum that you are on. It's a soap opera. It's meant to pull you in. It's meant, whether you are cheering for what is happening or you are groaning about what is happening, it is meant to be a soap opera. It is meant to pull you in. It is meant to grab your attention. And it is meant to keep you supporting these gigantic media behemoths, right? They want eyes, they want your anger, they want your emotions, because your emotions drive content. It drives the algorithm, and it drives their bottom line.
Yeah.
And Project Next is a new way that we are looking at media information. We are going to entertain you. We are going to inform you. We are going to connect you. We're also going to be a place where we can have some honest conversations, and we can really kind of start to air out all of the factors that have brought us to the place where we are right now. So please mark your calendars for Tuesday, January 28th from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. That is Eastern time, 5 to 10 p.m. Eastern time. So that's 4 to 9 Central time. Please mark your calendars and at least come join us for a little bit.
You don't have to stay for 5 hours. That's intense. Hours, just come for any of it that you want. Stay for the guests you want to see.
Yep.
Thanks for saying that so well, Corinne. You're so amazing. I adore you, girl. It's been a rough couple of days, and I really feel like with social media, we're really being played. Like, I always have sensed that, but it's been building, and I feel like that it's going to be getting worse, and it already is. Did you catch the story this morning, Corinne, about Instagram, that they made it so the hashtag Democrat or Democrats stopped working? Did you see this?
I did not see that.
Oh, I'm glad you didn't see it. It's crazy. So I got sent it, and then we looked it up, and there are stories about it. So a couple things happened with Instagram today, and I don't know whether it's still going on or if they got it fixed. But on Instagram, you cannot use the hashtag Democrats, but you can Republicans. Also on Instagram, whether you followed the president's account or not, you were automatically, a lot of people were saying they're all of a sudden following President Trump's account and JD Vance's account, even though they didn't follow it. And then Instagram did confirm, yes, this is happening, and they're saying it's a mistake. And weird timing, Instagram, to be having this specific mistake.
That is so funny. That okay, well, I want to check no, I can't. If I check my Instagram right now,
I thought for sure you would have known about it because I thought people would have been reaching out to you, but maybe you've been busy to read your comments.
I've been super busy, and I started going through some TikTok messages today, and I have not had.
You probably have so many. I mean, you have 52,000 followers now, so your messages has to be, big. Yeah.
It's getting to be a lot. But I really do try to respond to everybody.
But there's going to be a time when you're too big. You can respond to some, but don't take it like you have to, girl. Take care of your mental health. I mean, seriously, that's what
I'm trying. Goodness gracious.
Once you get so big, it's just humanly impossible to answer everybody. So just know that about Corinne. Those of us that found her early on, we are the lucky ones that got to talk to her before she became a giant TikTok / now Instagram star. So if you all didn't hear, I'm going to brag about Corinne a little bit. What day was it? Last week, Leslie Jones, the amazing comedian who was on SNL. I love her so much.
Me
She
too.
shared one of Corinne's Instagram videos. So
She
that
did.
went viral. And to know Leslie Jones is scrolling through Instagram, found Corinne's stuff, listened to it, and shared it. It's pretty exciting. And then that helped her Instagram grow. So her Instagram is just Corinne Straight, if you
Yep.
want to follow her. But way to go, girl. And the message that you had that she pumped out was a really good one about social media, right?
Yeah, and I mean, it was really just, because we heard, if everybody watched the video from Mark Zuckerberg, of the changes that are coming to Instagram and Facebook. We know those were politically motivated. He said so. He said, with the new administration. And I think it is a really good reminder. This is a good time to remind all of us that there's a reason we don't pay for social media. There's a reason that it's free, because they don't need us to pay for it, because we are the product.
We're the product. We're the content. They tell us what they want us to do, and then they promote us when we do what they want.
Yep.
And then so yeah, we're the product of social media. And then I'm feeling grossed out by it, especially when they manipulate our emotions so openly and they profit off of it. And that's a big reason why I started this media company with Tim Peck. Let's take out so much of the emotion, so much of the manipulation that they're doing to human beings, because this is like who we are as humans. We do this. And let's take that out, and let's not try to manipulate people, and let's try to join and give hope and say, yes, this bad thing is happening, but if we do this thing, we can help try to stop it. And also, we don't have to watch the negative thing. We can turn it off, because that hurts our mental health. We can still work together in our communities. We can still try to do things, shine a spotlight on the bad, but at the same time, we don't need to allow these media companies and the social media platforms to manipulate our emotions. So that's why we're doing this thing. But hey, Laura, thanks for joining us. Love you, girl.
Oh, nice. So good to see you, Laura. And I did want to remind everybody, because this was also a good time of just, if we remember, I don't know how many people watched the movie The Social Network. I did not watch that movie, but I kind of know the story of Facebook and everything. Mark Zuckerberg and his friends built an algorithm when they were in college. And which is how Facebook got its name. It's the Book of Faces, right? They wanted to have kind of a online yearbook for all of the girls, all of the women that they went to college with, so they could rank them. And that was where Facebook started. So I think we have to remember that it started from exploitation. It started from making women a commodity and a spectacle and a circus exhibit. And even if they're just a bunch of dudes in their dorm room figuring this out, and it may sound kind of innocent, look at where it's gone.
And there are good parts to social media. I use Facebook and Instagram, and then I use TikTok. I openly use them. And I love putting pictures of my family up so that all of my friends and family that are on Facebook can see them, because I don't have time to text all of the people I love cute pictures of my kids.
Yep.
And then it's also a good way to say, hey, there's a meeting at this and this time and this place. There are a lot of benefits to social media. I'm not going to stop using these platforms, but it's important to recognize the good, the bad, and the ugly. And right now we're being played heavily. And I think it's going to get worse based on what we're seeing. Now, I'm like, I see they can't always do what they want. So let's say for Instagram with the Democrat hashtag, let's say this is a calculated plan by them to try to manipulate us. Really quickly, everybody started shining a light on it. There's news stories out about it. And Instagram's like, whoa, it's a mistake. We'll fix it. So even if it was planned, the shining a light on it is going to stop it. So it's just like, we just kind of always got to be watching. And like,
it's a game. Like, we have to remember, like, it's
a game.
This is entertainment. And I had a great conversation this morning with an organizer and an activist and advocate here in Indiana. And they shared so much about their local one-on-one conversations where they are not bringing up party. They are not bringing up right or left. They said this really, really beautifully. When I talk to people around Indiana, I don't focus on right or left. I focus on right and wrong. And the things that people are dealing with in these communities, there are a lot of specific issues around substance abuse disorder.
Yeah.
And connecting people to appropriate and effective rehabilitation centers. And so those are the issues. Those are where we start to meet our neighbors where they are.
Yeah.
And kind of ignore, not that we have to completely ignore, but we can kind of put in the background
right.
some of the stuff that's happening on a national scale. Because if we can keep building these connections and keep showing what can be accomplished when we just care about one another and when we connect, that's what our government is supposed to be.
Right.
Our government is supposed to be a caretaker and a facilitator. And it is supposed to kind of be the umbrella that all of us get shelter under.
Right.
And it's not necessarily, it doesn't have to be such an angry place, or it doesn't have to be such a scary place,
and it's not even an angry and scary place in the real world. Online, It looks like it is.
It sure does. It's a completely different world.
Yes. And I spent so much of my time when I ran for State House trying to convince people that were on my side to not fear our neighbors and our family that might vote differently, that it's okay to talk to them about local issues. And people are like, oh, no, I don't want to get a fight about national politics. I'm like, don't talk about national politics. Talk about local stuff, local things that we care about. And it's still a struggle. We haven't figured it out yet. I get why my friends and my family are scared, because the messages being dumped on us online and on news say, don't you trust these people? Look how scary it is when you step outside your door. But since I was a candidate and I openly door knocked and met thousands of people that vote differently and didn't vote for me, they're great people and I love them and I care about them and I want their lives to be better. So I saw it. I know my neighbors in my town of Palmyra are great people. Not all of them, but most of them. Most of them. And life is hard and some of them are struggling and it hurts my heart. And to just get that message out, you don't need to fear. It's so easy. You say one scary little sentence and people are like, better lock my doors and stay inside. It's so easy to spread the fear. And it's so much harder to be like, no, don't be scared. Just talk to them.
Just talk.
Just talk to them.
And the only reason to not go outside right now is because it is effing cold. So do not leave your house right now. It is so cold.
It was 1 yesterday when my kids got on the bus. It's like 8 or 7 or something here. What is it? I'm in the bottom of Indiana.
We're in the negatives. We are at negative 20. Oh, hold on. I got to figure it out. We're at negative 20 Celsius. I have to look it up because
that's interesting. You do Celsius.
I do Celsius because of, so we're -5 Fahrenheit.
Wow.
That was right. I don't want to.
We had 2-hour delays. My kids have had 2-hour delays yesterday and today. What about you?
Well, we didn't have school yesterday for MLK. And then today we're closed completely. So
you're closed because of the cold?
Yeah. Yeah.
So we just had a 2-hour delay, but we've used all our snow days. Like Monday was a snow makeup day. That's why we went.
Oh, that's why you went. We're on e-learning.
And I bet we're going to be 2-hour delay if it's going to be this cold again, because it's the buses. It takes so long to start them and heat them up.
And we have so many, like a lot of more, because we're in kind of a city school. And so we have huge walk zones. So our high school walk zone is 2 miles.
Yeah, we do not have very many, if at all, any walkers.
You live within here. 2 miles of the high school, you have to walk. You don't get a bus. So it's 2 miles of the high school and 1.5 miles.
So I bet a lot of those parents are dropping their kids off, because I'm not going to make my kid walk 2 miles to school every day.
But a lot of parents aren't home. There are a lot.
I can't believe that's happening. You just shocked me.
A lot of walkers. Oh yeah, these kids walk. And some of them are walking.
Kindergartners.
Oh, they have to walk? Yep. Kindergarten. So elementary to 8th grade, you're 1.5 mile walk zone. 9th through 12th grade, you're a 2-mile walk zone. So what, like, my kids have a bus now. My oldest drives, but my kids did have a bus where we live now because we are really, really far away from the school. But when we were closer, when we lived in our downtown, we were 1.4 miles away. So they both walked to the high school and to the junior high. Yeah.
That is wild. I have no idea.
They would do their bike sometimes, or they would take their scooter. They had an electric scooter. But it was only like when the weather was nice, it's a 12-minute walk. So it's not bad. They didn't mind
I bet it's good for their independence and stuff, but that's just, I just did not know that was happening in Indiana. That's interesting.
And there's a lot of like those city schools. Oh yeah, here, my electrician isn't working. Hold on, Sarah, take it away. Let me talk to you.
So I was going to talk anyway, while Corinne handles with their electrician. That's so cute. About our Project Next live event on Tuesday, January 28th from 5 to 10. So we are going to have a bunch of guests. Some of my favorite people are going to join us. Pam from Senior Paws Rescue. She's one of my best friends. She lives close by. She runs a nonprofit where she rescues dogs 10 years and older. And she's going to take us on a tour of her beautiful country farmhouse and the dogs, and we're going to meet the dogs' personalities. And she raises a lot of money on Facebook and TikTok for her nonprofit. And once she gets a rescue dog that says like 12 years old, she takes them to the vet, gives them everything they need, loves them, gives them great healthy food, wonderful places to sleep and snuggle up, and then people come over and love on the dogs. And it's just the most beautiful nonprofit to help older pups. They don't need to move around anymore. They stay there and they live out the rest of their life at Pam's house. So you're going to meet Pam and her cute pups. Oh my gosh. I go over there when I need a mental health break and just love on those dogs. And they're so cute because they kind of fight over your snuggles. They're like, the little ones get on your lap. The big ones get on your lap sometimes. And then sometimes they're like, get a little jealous and they try to like push one off and get on you. And it's like, I'm loving this so much.
That's so cute.
Yeah. So that's going to be amazing. We're going to have my friend Dan Cannon. He's a civil rights lawyer. He's also an author. He wrote a book called Pleading Out about plea bargains. And he also was a lawyer for the civil rights case that went to the Supreme Court that got marriage equality.
Yep.
And he lives close by to me, and he's like one of my real life heroes. Also, there's been times when I've reached out when I'm trying to help someone struggling. I'll message him and he always helps me.
That's awesome.
Every time I've asked him for help, 100% of the time he helps me. And I know he does that for like thousands of people, like, because he has a lot of friends. So Dan's going to come on. And then the whole overall theme of this 5-hour live event is hope. There are so many good people out in the community like Pam and Dan that are trying to help. When things get dark, when you get stressed out, when you're overwhelmed with the news and the social media, to start thinking about the local people in your own communities that help and realize we're not alone. We're all trying. We're doing our best. And then let's see, the main goal of this is like we're trying to get extra support to launch our independent media company out into the nation. It's not just going to be for Indiana. And so we need money to do that. So you can help support us. And if you support us, if you purchase something, if you sponsor us, you can get a live shout out dedication, and we'll put it here. We'll put it on the comments where it says mark your calendars there, and we will say it. And then, so if you want to ask a friend or somebody that you care about to watch, and then you can sponsor, and then they'll get a shout out live on air. So hopefully that's a lot of fun for people. Corinne, what are you feeling like? It's pretty dark right now, I would say, with social media and news. What hope does being a content creator on Project Next Media, what does that do for your own mental health?
It gives me a place to focus my energy and to be excited. I mean, the one show that we have launched, which I'm really excited to talk to you about our next episode. Hopefully we can record that this week or next week.
Sure.
Plots and Politics. That is a show where we are taking things that have happened in states around the country throughout history and making connections to things that are happening current day. Because it is really interesting, as much as we want to think we are incredibly modern, evolved people, our brains are exactly the same. And we have not changed that much. Our brains have been the same for thousands of years. And we have to remember that we are the same animals we were a couple thousand years ago. We just have better tools. We have better technology now.
We want to think we're so much more evolved, but when
We're
you
not.
start sharing like the story you did with last week's episode, guys, check out Plots and Politics episode 2 about Kentucky's shortest serving governor, because it was fascinating. You very quickly see when Corinne dove into that story, you're like, oh, we do that today, but instead of putting it in the paper, we're just shining it all over social media. And oh, we throw shade that way too, and we do like
we're the same.
Like the confusion of what happened and the blame, we better blame somebody. It's all the same. We just have better tools to magnify the message and to manipulate people. We're just doing it on a wider scale. And
I've seen there have been so many positive people on social media that are saying like, hey, we've been here before.
That's such a good point.
Before.
Yes.
This is not new. We have survived X, Y, and Z. We're going to survive it again. It doesn't mean it's not horrible. We're not dismissing that some people are afraid, but we've been here before and we've survived it before. And so here's an example, taking something like, William Goebel from Kentucky, which, fun fact, the only U.S. governor to ever be assassinated.
Wow.
We learned that. It's like, gosh, I would have thought there would have been more, but that's not true. There's only one.
And Corinne, you have many talents. If you see her on TikTok or Instagram, you know that, and added another one. Really good at storytelling of a historical event. You made it so interesting. I do not listen to that stuff for fun. Yeah. And I will gladly listen to you spin a web about something that happened in the past any day.
That's awesome. Well, I think you're really going to like the next one that I have. So
I cannot wait.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty excited about it. So that's how I think Project Next is going to help a lot of us. It's going to help us with perspective, and it's going to help us make connections. So when we have conversations with, hey, here's a group that is working on something in Iowa. Here is somebody that is doing something in Wisconsin that maybe we can duplicate somewhere else. And thank you, Laura. Laura just said, I love the chalkboard tutorials. Well, Laura, let me tell you, I'm about to up my game, honey, because I got me a whiteboard.
Ooh, I'm excited.
I got me a whiteboard, and because the chalk's a real pain in the butt. So
the chalk dust.
The dust, and then every once in a while I would like scratch my nail on it it takes me like 7 minutes to recover from that sound. But I am pretty excited about my whiteboard. So just wait, Laura.
I shout out to Corinne this week. Indiana State House bills are trying to make it illegal to dress like the opposite gender.
Yeah.
So Corinne did a couple videos where she got into her son's clothes, and I saw them in the morning. I'll look at my phone while my husband's asleep so I don't have sound. And I'm like, who did Corinne get to be in her videos? It was you were very cute guy.
Thank you.
I thought you were adorable. And then as soon as I heard the voice, I'm like, oh no, that's her. They were very funny. You are a comedian. They were hilarious. So maybe go through her videos on Instagram or TikTok, and you got to check out Corinne as a dude, because it's hilarious. And it's also, you were like, I had so much fun doing this. Why are we trying to make this? It's nothing bad. It's not evil. I'm not hurting a child by dressing up as a guy. Everything's okay. Calm down, everybody.
Everything's fine. Everything's fine. And there are two things that I think would make the world a better place. Well, there's more than two things, but two I'll touch on here. One, I think everybody should have to work in food service at some point in their
life. That would make people kinder.
You should be a server at some point in your life. Number two, everybody should also work in community theater at some point in their life. Oh, yeah. You don't have to be an actor. You don't have to be a singer. I have done stage shows. I love to act. I love to dance. I love to sing. But what I love more is being behind the scenes. I love doing costumes. I love stage managing. There is no better microcosm of a group of people working together to problem solve with very limited resources than what you will find in a community theater. You have no choice but to make it work. There is literally a show happening on the stage, and if somebody's costume just ripped, you better figure out how to sew it back together. You have 40 seconds. That is... Oh, Laura has another one. Everyone should work in a nursing home. That's a great one. Absolutely. Nursing homes, food service, community theater.
And we've got a request to put your videos on Blue Sky. So.
Oh, I do, Terry. Thank you so much. I am putting some of them up on Blue Sky too. So I'm going to get better at that. All of the time requirements are different for all of these social media platforms.
It's hard.
So I got to get them under a minute to be on Blue Sky. And I have to have them over a minute to monetize on TikTok. So it's kind of like it's a back and forth. So but I think if more people did community theater,
I agree with you.
See how fun it is to just be in a costume. Just be in a costume. And I have worked with so many actors, so many men who will dress up as a woman, a clown, a giant baby in a heartbeat just for the bit, just to be entertaining.
So fun. It's like, think about the people on SNL. They're having fun. It's nerve-wracking, but why are we doing this? Because it's fun. Everybody lighten up. Stop trying to control us so much. Lighten up. Stop being so scared of everything. Calm down.
Stop being scared. And you know what? If you don't like, the number of
If you don't want to dress up like your kid, don't. But don't tell Corinne she can't, because that was hilarious and I can't wait till she does it again.
Oh my God. And so, okay, so this face... My brother and sister and I pretty much have the same exact...
You said you look like your brother. That's cute.
Same exact face. So I FaceTimed my brother on Saturday, and he was like, what the heck? He was freaking...
Oh, I wish I could have seen that. That sounds so cute.
It was so funny. And then we actually had like a full-on conversation about like serious stuff and other things while I looked like him. So, my poor husband, he was just like... he's like, you look like your kid, you look like your brother, it was kind of a mind trip for him. So that was pretty funny. But Laura's got a good point. They're not proud of, symbols, or they're not scared of symbols of white supremacy.
And I just say, everybody take a collective deep breath from the scary stuff and focus on the good that's going on in your local community, and focus on Project Next, because we really want to be there for you, because I am also stressed out. That is why I'm starting this company. Putting my energy into something positive and trying to connect people in Indiana and across the country so that we all care about our communities better, so that we can grow instead of being scared of our neighbors. They want us scared. They want us hopeless. They want to do those things to make us go, ah! And we need to just kind of shut that out a little bit and focus more on what's going on here locally. So guys, please spread the word. If you could get a friend or two to watch anytime during this live event on Tuesday, January 28th, a week from today, from 5 to 10, if you can get a couple friends, I'm going to be sharing a graphic that my friend Kenna made for us today. And I'll be putting that on every platform, and you guys can share it. I'll be texting it to friends. It says where the event is, when it is. You can watch it live on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Twitch. Facebook's Project Next, and then Twitch is Project Next Movement, and then YouTube is one word, Project Next Movement. So if you wouldn't mind subscribing to those, if you're on those platforms, and sharing it with your friends. This will be the first time you can purchase merchandise. You can get merch. I got my friend Elmer Ramos from Hey Elmer. He has a local store here in Corden, Indiana, and he is designing logo stuff for us. And so there'll be a way for the first
I love that. Sarah, what I was going to ask you, what is that behind you?
So my brother-in-law, Rob Blessing, I love him so much. He has a 3D printer. He made this for me for Christmas.
It's a lamp.
He 3D printed it. It's a light. And my husband thought of the idea and sent it to him. And he spent hours. He said it was the hardest thing he's 3D printed. And he's 3D printed thousands of intricate things, because normally he gets things that are already made. This is a new thing to make. So
that's so cool.
And I can pick it up and carry it wherever I want to go, and then put it behind me. So it's like the Project Next that you see at the top of the screen there, but it's movable. So thank you, Rob. Love you. He's a great brother-in-law.
So cool. That's an awesome gift. And how nice to have like people in your life that get you.
And
Like,
my mother-in-law, Liz, she watches so many of the shows, and then she
mhm.
like comments on there, and then she tells me in person that she liked them, and I'm like, "Ah, love you." So, and my parents do too. Like, I've seen, I think your mom on. I think your mom has
My
been on
mom is
stuff.
very
I
supportive.
wish I could give your mom a hug and meet her. We
I
live too
also
far
have,
away.
yep, I also have very, very supportive parents and a husband and kids and siblings. And yeah, my brother-in-law has been integral in my social media crap and helping me build
No,
a
so
website. And
sweet. And my
um,
husband's making the music.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a
no, this
community.
is an
It's a big
all
thing.
hands on deck
Um,
effort.
Yeah. So one thing I want to promote, we've got something really exciting happen on Saturday. Corinne, I don't know if you're free or not, but Saturday at 3, I'm having my friend Kara, who is a public school teacher and knows a lot about the bad bills against public education.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to come and do a live episode with me Saturday at 3. She's very busy. If you are a
That'll be
teacher, because I used to be a teacher, when I was a
fun.
teacher, you are so busy. And then she's
Oh
got
yeah.
kids and sports and stuff. And so the fact that she's making time, she's going to drive to my house and we're going to be in person doing this together. So anybody that wants to know more about the bad education bills and why they are bad,
Yep.
why school choice is not really school choice and it's actually just defunding public education, we'll break that down for you Saturday at
Mm-hmm.
3, but you can watch it after. You don't have to watch it during the live
No.
if you're busy. But that's coming up Saturday. Sounds like we got an episode 3 of Plots and Politics coming up, so be on the
Yes.
lookout for that. Please join us Tuesday, January
Yeah.
28th. Please come
28th.
anytime. We've got
Anytime.
lots of guests coming. Yeah, anything you want to say? I think we can end it here.
Yeah.
I'm just so thankful for everybody that's joined us early on, because we're about ready to grow.
We are.
This is the very little baby beginning of this independent media company, and we're gonna go out there. And I really want to thank my my co-founder Tim Peck. He understands the business side of things a lot
Yeah.
better than I do. So thank you, Tim. And I want to thank Scott Aaron Rogers. So we have 4 of us that do content, Corinne, and then Scott Aaron Rogers, and then Tim and I. And we'll be growing that too. But it's pretty fun being this 4-person creative team. One of the things we want to do with the support and the dedications and the buying the merch is we want to pay for our content creators, because so far we're not making money. So that would be nice to be able to pay the people that are spending all of these hours doing this work. So anyway, I just want to thank you, Corinne. You're fantastic. I'm so freaking.
How are you?
Thank you. I'm so lucky to have you in my life.
Lucky to have you too. Thank you. And thank you, Terry. And thank you, Laura.
Thank you.
Terry sends me so many good leads on social media. So she's amazing. Thank you. And I'm still live on my TikTok, Sarah. If you want to join me on TikTok.
I'm going to join you on TikTok right now.
A few minutes. Okay. You can do a co-host.
So get us on TikTok if you want to see more content. We're going right over there. All right. Bye, everybody. Love you guys. Have a great week. Woo. Stay warm.